Thank you, Yves. Bonjour, good morning, everybody. I serve as the president of Carp, Ottawa, which is one of some 25 chapters across Canada, serving over 350,000 members. We are the largest seniors advocacy association in Canada, and it's our goal that all seniors and retirees have a good quality of life in their later years. We offer numerous benefits and programs, and in Ottawa over the last year and a half, some 50 virtual webinars on many different topics that our members have identified as important to them. We hope to be back together in person within the next couple of months to celebrate the end of this pandemic and enjoy the collegiality at our workshops and exhibits we provide to all seniors. Our board of directors have been working diligently over the last year on key advocacy projects on long-term care and fall prevention. We are very pleased to collaborate with the Council on Aging and the National Association of Federal Retirees on these important candidate meetings to hear prospective politicians respond to our key themes we have chosen. I wish all of the candidates the best of luck in their campaigns. Merci.
Thank you, Rick. I will now invite Robert Giroux, President of the Ottawa branch of the National Association of Federal Retirees. Robert, à vous la parole.
Bonjour and hello to candidates. Mon nom est Robert Giroux, and I am President of the Ottawa branch of the National Association of Federal Retirees. Je vous transmets les salutations de notre conseil d'administration et de nos nombreux bénévoles qui travaillent à des événements comme celui-ci. Notre association is also delighted to be working together with the Ottawa chapter of Carp and the Council on Aging to organize these sessions. Our association was established 58 years ago, and today we represent more than 170,000 active and retired members of the Federal Public Service, Canadian Armed Forces, RCMP, and federally appointed judges, as well as their partners and survivors. Here in Ottawa, we serve our branch as 33,800 members, and we have 2,559 members in Carleton. We're an advocacy organization like Carp and the Council on Aging, and we share a vision for the future where all Canadians experience a safe, secure, and healthy retirement. We put special focus on protecting the pensions and benefits of federal retirees. We make sure that every government is aware if they are looking for cutbacks or savings, our association will vigorously protect the pensions and benefits of federal retirees have earned. Our branch also focuses on education and information sharing, particularly related to financial literacy and healthy aging. To keep our members and volunteers safe, of course, during this time of pandemic, we offer weekly seminars over Zoom. We invite everyone to learn more about our activities by visiting our website, NAFROttawa.com. Our association has 4 priority issues: retirement income security for all Canadians, a national senior strategy for all Canadians, universal public pharmacare, and much improved support, care, and benefits for veterans. For today's events, the candidates were asked to focus specifically on a national senior strategy and the dire need for long-term care standards and reform, and the equally dire need to adequately fund home care. The pandemic has exposed the terrible issues that residents face in the long-term care, and its effects are not over yet. According to the Ontario government's website, over 41% of the COVID-19 cases that resulted in deaths between January 15, 2020 and September 2, 2021 were residents of long-term care home. We lost 4,000 seniors who are important members of our family and our communities. These are unprecedented times, and we need an unprecedented response. That's why today we will be listening closely to what the candidates have to say We want to hear how your party, if elected, will respond to this unprecedented situation. We thank the candidates for participating in this session. Merci beaucoup.
Merci, Robert. So thank to both Rick and Robert for those welcoming comments. So this takes us to the main part of our meeting. I would like to stress a few technical reminders to share with you. All the candidates have been given 5 minutes to provide opening statement and a brief overview of their party's platform on older adults and seniors issues. There will be a reminder that your time is about to expire 1 minute before it ends. And as you have seen, this virtual meeting is being recorded and it will be shared with the candidates and those of you who have signed into this session. We will not be having a question and answer period following the candidate's presentation, but you are welcome to send an email directly to the candidate and we are providing you with their contact points. We hope you will enjoy this session. Before I introduce the candidates, I would also like to say a few words about the Council on Aging. The Council on Aging of Ottawa is a bilingual, volunteer-based charitable organization dedicated to improving the quality of life of older adults living in Ottawa. We strive to promote and champion the basic tenets of an inclusive, caring city and the importance of community-wide engagement with a special focus on the vulnerable and isolated older adults. Concerns and issues of older adults are identified and solutions are sought through forums, research project, and partnership network. So as you can see, this session is a good example of how the three associations are able to collaborate together. I also want to share a personal experience. Over the past 6 years, I have lost my two parents. Both of them had transitioned from their house directly to a long-term care home where they passed. My mother left us well before the pandemic, and my dad, unfortunately, during the pandemic at the beginning. Dramatically, the pandemic has taken the life of many older adults, and it has worsened the challenges that healthcare workers have been facing for too long, such as lack of personal training and resources. I'll take this opportunity to thank the healthcare workers for their tremendous effort throughout this pandemic. The public in general was shocked by this situation, a situation that again existed well before the pandemic. Let's hope those lost lives are not in vain. Let's become proactive in addressing older adults' concern, starting with long-term care, where there is still an urgent need to provide appropriate framework, care, and financing. The list, however, does not stop here. Think about housing, not just from an aging perspective, but also in relation to climate change. Older adults, seniors, a lot of them are living in housing where there is no air conditioning, income security, social inclusion, transportation, to name a few. All of those need to be acted upon, and to properly address them, we don't need finger pointing. We need leadership to come up with a solid and coordinated national strategy for seniors. So on behalf of our three organizations, I am looking forward to what the candidates have to offer in response to these challenges. Moreover, beyond your party's platform on aging, I am interested to hear from the candidates what you would do to help move these important issues forward if you are elected. So this brings me to the candidates. I will first introduce Monsieur Pierre Poilievre from the Conservative Party. As I pointed out earlier, Monsieur Poilievre has provided a short video, and please accept our apology and bear with us as it seems that the audio track is somewhat off, unfortunately. So Bonnie will be putting the video on now. Bonnie?
Look at those prices for food, clothing, groceries, gas, heat, electricity. Canadians are paying more and more for less and less, with inflation at near 2-decade highs, and no one is paying more than our seniors, whose pensions and savings are being eaten up by this rampant runaway inflation. And it's no surprise. Canada's spending more and making less. Sure, we had to spend during COVID, but we didn't have to have the biggest deficit of all of the G20 countries. They all had COVID too. Nor do we have to be on track for 50 more years of deficit, says the budget officer says we now are. Surely our COVID problem won't last that long. And finally, we shouldn't be paying people not to work now when there are more than 500,000 help wanted signs on the front of businesses across this country. Working age people should be getting those jobs and going from government checks to paychecks. And finally, what's most frustrating of all is that the spending that we're doing is driving up your cost of living and making it impossible for you to afford your bills. That's why Conservatives will get people back to work, spending back to normal, and businesses making stuff here in Canada again, so that we're not so dependent on hostile foreign countries like China, or even our friends like the United States, next time there is a crisis. But securing our future is not just about the economy. It's about generating the revenues to pay for our health care, which will go up at 6% per year if Conservatives are elected. We will increase the growth in the health care spending by 6% a year, just like we did under the previous Conservative government, rather than the current 3% Justin Trudeau has had that has left our hospital hallways overflowing with patients. Our seniors deserve an affordable quality of life and a secure pension, and that's why Conservatives will give pensions priority in bankruptcies by changing the law to make sure that the pensioners come first and the payouts for Wall Street bondholders come after them. In other words, your pension will be secure if Conservatives are elected as Canada's next government. Once again, the goal here is to get our economy going, to secure our future, and get our country back on track. Thank you. Look at those prices for food, clothing.
Alors, je souhaite remercier M. Poilievre d'avoir pris le temps de nous envoyer une vidéo. I'd like to thank M. Poilievre to have taken the time to produce and send us that short video. And we will make sure that our appreciation is being sent to him. Now, I would like to turn to M. Gustav Hua from the Liberal Party. Monsieur Hua is here with us in person. Alors, Monsieur Hua, vous avez la parole. Vous avez 5 minutes. Et comme je vous le mentionnais avant que les gens se joignent à nous, nous aurons l'occasion de vous donner 2 minutes additionnelles après la vidéo de Monsieur Hua. À vous la parole, Monsieur Hua.
Unmute. You've got to do it.
Ah, voilà, merci. Thank you all. Good morning, everyone. Bonjour à tous. Mon nom est Gustav Hua, comme Monsieur le Duc a mentionné. J'aimerais remercier les 3 organisations de m'avoir invité ce matin. Thank you, everyone, for inviting me here today. Yves' personal story about his parents touched me because I also recently lost my parents, and it is a very difficult and emotional period in one's life to go through. I have been around seniors quite a bit throughout my career. I started off in financial services and finished off in health sciences recently. And I've seen, you know, the challenges that seniors face financially and also with respect to access to healthcare. So I'm from a large family. We were 6 children, and I'm the youngest. So my parents were older, and I've had an opportunity, or I had an opportunity to really view how aging occurs and some of the challenges related to that. Now, when we speak about seniors and the needs, it's very broad, and it touches many different sectors of your life as you're aging, and it's important to have adapted services along the way. Now, the Liberals have done a lot for seniors in the past 6 years, and there is a very significant plan which touches the priorities that were outlined earlier, and I'll quickly run through them. But my message to you today is more about understanding. So ultimately, I believe that what we need are advocates in government, people who understand the challenges that seniors go through every day and are able to advocate effectively on their behalf at a government level. So I will certainly share what we've done and what we're planning on doing, but I think the biggest message that I want to leave with all of you today is that I understand and I am on your side. I've lived this myself personally, and I understand how important it is to age with dignity. So very briefly, what has been done to date with respect to the Liberal government in the past 6 years. So I think one of the most important measures was to reverse the Conservative policy with respect to the eligibility of the old age security and the guaranteed income supplement. So that was rolled back. The Conservatives had increased that to 67. It was rolled back to 65, which prevented poverty for over 100,000 seniors every year. We've also increased old age security by 10%. Which that's an extra $766 that seniors are receiving. And we've improved the financial security of our 900,000 seniors with increases to the guaranteed income supplement. So there's been a lot that has been done. There's also plans and initiatives right now that are being worked on to address the savings, so the reducing the risk of not saving enough for your retirement. So there's work being done to increase by 50% the Canada and the Quebec pension plans. So overall, we've decreased poverty rates among seniors by 20%, and I think that's fantastic, but obviously there's still more to do. So with respect to improving the health and access to care for older adults and caregivers, we have a national standards program that we would like to introduce for long-term care. So obviously during the pandemic, we saw some of the challenges related to the long-term care environment. And I think, as a basis, we need to implement home care to improve the quality of living conditions. So if it's possible to stay within your home and age at home, I think that is really one of the most important things that we can offer our seniors today. We want to develop a safe and long-term care act to ensure that seniors are guaranteed the care they deserve, no matter where they live. So this would be a strategy, a national strategy to implement guidelines throughout long-term care homes to ensure that the quality is maintained in a consistent way, so we can avoid other situations like we saw during COVID. So to improve the quality and availability of long-term care homes and beds, we've got two important initiatives in place that what we want to launch once elected. The first one is training up to 50,000 new personal support workers. So it's important to have the right people that are caring for seniors in the homes. And it is a difficult and challenging job. I've seen it firsthand. So having the right number of resources that are there will certainly have an impact in terms of care or the delivery of care.
Monsieur
The
Hua,
other, I'm sorry?
Monsieur Hua, I will have to interrupt you here. The time is past. You will have an opportunity to come back after we have heard from Monsieur Hua. And I would like to thank you for that concise overview of your party's platform. 5 minutes is gone pretty quick.
Yeah, I know. It got me a little bit off guard there. Thank you. Sorry about that.
No worries. So let me now introduce Mr. Kevin Hua from the NDP. Mr. Hua has also provided a short video, and we will now be hearing from Mr. Hua.
I apologize that I could not be in attendance with you all, but I hope this recorded message gets to you all well and will be sufficient to provide and inform you with how the NDP and I intend to support seniors and address your key priorities. Je suis désolé de ne pas avoir pu être présent avec vous tous, mais j'espère que ce message enregistré vous parviendra à tous et qu'il suffira à vous expliquer comment le MPD et moi avons l'intention de soutenir les personnes âgées et de répondre à vos priorités. My name is Kevin Hua, and I am the NDP candidate for the riding of Carleton in this unnecessary federal election. Mon nom est Kevin Hua et je suis le candidat du MPD dans la circonscription de Carleton lors de cette élection fédérale inutile. The NDP intends to establish a national senior strategy to improve the quality of life for seniors in this country with the objectives of improving healthcare and expanding its access, reducing isolation, and addressing poverty among our seniors. This includes measures like pharmacare to ensure accessibility to medication, improving access to technology for communications with families, a guaranteed livable basic income for financial security and stability, a national dementia strategy, and an elder abuse prevention plan. Le MPD a l'intention d'établir une stratégie nationale pour les aînés afin d'améliorer leur qualité de vie dans ce pays, avec le but d'améliorer les soins de santé et d'élargir l'accès, de réduire l'isolement et de lutter contre la pauvreté chez nos aînés. Cela comprend des mesures comme le pharmacare pour assurer l'accessibilité aux médicaments, l'amélioration de l'accès à la technologie pour la communication avec les familles, un revenu de base garanti pour la sécurité et la stabilité financière, une stratégie nationale sur la démence et un plan de prévention des mauvais traitements envers les personnes âgées. We have also committed to eliminating private for-profit long-term care, which has proven to be incapable of providing the care our loved ones deserve and being completely incompetent through the pandemic. Spaces of chronic neglect, abuse, and harm have been exacerbated under the pandemic. We will implement a national standard with the provinces on long-term care and home care to guarantee access to the services and ensure consistent standard and quality of care. Nous nous sommes également engagés à éliminer les soins de longue durée privés à but lucratif qui se sont avérés incapables à prodiguer les soins que nos proches méritent et qui sont complètement incompétentes pendant la pandémie. Des espaces de négligence chronique, d'abus et de préjudice qui étaient exacerbés par la pandémie. Nous mettrons en œuvre une norme nationale avec les provinces sur les soins de longue durée et les soins à domicile pour garantir l'accès aux services et assurer une norme et une qualité constante des soins. We will work as well to ensure home care core services are provided and covered by provincial insurance. And for those who are caring for their loved ones themselves at home, we'll make the Canada Caregiver Tax Credit refundable in order to give them the financial support they desperately need. Nous travaillerons également pour assurer que les services de base des soins à domicile sont fournis et couverts par l'assurance provinciale. Et pour ceux qui s'occupent eux-mêmes de leurs proches à la maison, nous rendrons le crédit d'impôt canadien pour aidants naturels remboursable afin de leur donner le soutien financier qu'ils désespérément besoin. Thank you for your time and for listening. I hope we can build upon the lessons of the pandemic and have compassion be a guiding force with our policies, both with our seniors and overall. Merci pour votre temps et votre écoute. J'espère que nous pourrons tirer des leçons de la pandémie et que la compassion sera une force directrice dans nos politiques avec notre personnes âgées et en général.
Alors, j'aimerais remercier M. Hua d'avoir pris le temps de nous envoyer une courte vidéo. I would like to thank Mr. Hua to have taken the time for providing us with a short video about the NDP's platform. Rest assured that we will be transmitting our sincere appreciation directly to Mr. Hua. When we started approaching the various parties, inviting them to participate in this virtual session, we were limiting the time to 5 minutes, thinking that all of them would be participating, taking into account that only 3 have either sent a video or are attending in person. We have the luxury of time, and therefore, as I said earlier, it is my pleasure to offer an additional 2 to 3 minutes to Monsieur Hua, who is here with us in person. Alors, Monsieur Hua, de nouveau, je vous cède la parole.
Thank you. Listen, there is so much to talk about, and I've just realized how quickly 5 minutes, goes. So I don't want to, go through too many policy issues. Obviously, I think clearly we've been there in the past, and we will continue to do so in the future. We have investments in the long-term cares. We'll be training up to 50,000 new support workers, as I indicated earlier, and providing a better wage, a minimum of $25 an hour for those who are supporting seniors in the retirement homes. We also have plans to increase the guaranteed income supplement by $500 and boost the old age security by 10%. So those are all financial incentives or financial initiatives, I should say, that will better support seniors. Aging at home is a very important theme. I think that is something that we can do and support seniors in a better way so that they can age at home and avoid long-term care altogether. We're also working to provide more affordable and accessible housing for older Canadians. We've got a plan to preserve and repair over 1.4 million homes over the next 4 years, and also providing a multi-generational home renovation tax credit. So there's really a lot going on, but I think what's really important, and if there's one thing that I want you all to remember, is that I'm here to work for you. I'm here to advocate for you. And my goal is to partner with the organizations that are here today, listen to your needs, prioritize what needs to be accomplished, and work diligently on your behalf to get it done. So I'll leave it at that because there are so many, as I said, questions and policy points that we could discuss. But I encourage you today to reach out if you have any questions to my campaign. I believe Monsieur Le Duc will be providing my contact information, and I'd be more than happy to answer any individual questions. And once again, I thank you all for giving me an opportunity to speak to you. Merci à tous de m'avoir donné l'opportunité de vous parler aujourd'hui. Il y a beaucoup de choses qu'on pourrait couvrir, et je pense que dans une période de très courte, c'est difficile de vous donner tous les détails de chacun des politiques. Mais juste de dire que on est là au niveau des pensions et puis des soins de longue durée, et également on veut s'assurer que les aînés puissent vieillir à la maison. Moi, je pense que c'est la meilleure stratégie qu'il faut mettre en place, les supporter financièrement, mais également donner l'opportunité de rester dans son domicile le plus longtemps possible. Merci.
Merci à vous, Monsieur Roy. J'apprécie beaucoup votre engagement. Vous avez parlé de partnership. You talked about partnership. I think partnership is important. as demonstrated by our collective action here, the three organization. And we can only wish you good luck on September 20th at this point in time. So this brings us to the end of our session. I'd like to thank all the candidates for their preparation and participation, either by video or in person today. We do appreciate their commitment to the seniors in their ridings and across Canada. And again, we wish them good luck in the election on September the 20th. So the next step is really for you, the participants, to exercise your right to vote. We all know that older adults, seniors are among those that are casting their vote the most in this country. So you do have a role to play. You do have a voice, and our issues are important. And think about it, your vote do count and will make a difference. So please, if you haven't already cast your vote as part of the advanced polling or by mail, please do so on September 20th. So on behalf of the Council on Aging of Ottawa, the Ottawa chapter of the Canadian Association of Retired Persons, and the Ottawa branch of the National Association of Federal Retirees, I want to thank you all for joining today's session. I hope you have enjoyed it, and it is my pleasure to call this session adjourned. So have a great day. Thank you. Merci.